You're frustrated, you're angry, and you wonder, why is it that I try to keep setting boundaries and it simply doesn't work? Well, my name is Coach Cherie, and what I do is I help high-functioning women discover their purpose, get crystal clear on their vision, and end the relational toxic patterns that they have so they can stop people-pleasing and start setting boundaries. Today, I just wanted to answer a question that I have that was sent in to me right here, and it's about a woman who, I assume it's a woman who's having some issues with boundaries. So here's what she says. Hi, Cherie. My issue is that my adult child keeps relying on me. Okay, we've already got a problem here. My adult child keeps relying on me financially and emotionally. Every time I try to set a boundary, I feel guilty. Oh, that dreaded mom guilt comes in, like I'm abandoning them. How do I hold my ground without feeling like a bad mom? I got you, sister. So let's just take this caller's or this note that I got here. It's not a call, but let's just take this note, this Q&A, and just break it down. The very first thing I want to point out here is that here's what you said. You said, my adult child keeps relying on me. When it comes to setting boundaries, the very first thing that we need to do is we've got to get our perspective right. So the perspective here is that your adult child keeps relying on you. But I want to switch that perspective and say it's not that they are relying on you, it's that you are enabling them. Let me repeat that. The issue here is not that they are relying on you. The issue is that you are enabling them. So for example, if I know that every time I go to the grocery store, if I am able to use my expired coupons and the grocery clerk takes it, who's the person who has the issue? It's not me, it's the grocery clerk, because they keep enabling my bad behavior, especially if these coupons are expired. So that's the first perspective, is that we've got to switch our perspective and now begin to take 100% accountability for what's going on in this relationship with your adult child. And what we do in the Power community, which is my community where women can come in, we do live Q&A where we get to break down and answer questions to help women begin to develop these strong muscles that they need so that they can begin to now hold their boundaries instead of giving in on their boundaries. Here's the second thing that you said. You said, every time I try to set a boundary, I feel guilty. I remember what Yoda said. I think it was Yoda. He said, there is no try, only do. You said, every time I try to set a boundary. So what this tells me is that you haven't actually set a boundary. You haven't made a decision about a boundary. You're kind of playing around with the idea of boundaries. Big, huge difference. Because when we've made a decision that we're going to travel from one place to another, we get in the car and we go. So it's not that you're trying to do it, it's that you haven't made a decision to do it. And there are probably some underlying reasons as to why setting the boundary hasn't worked. But one of them is making a solid decision so that you can actually hold your ground. And probably what's going on is that there's a fear. There is generally some kind of fear that keeps us from doing what we need to do. It's not that you fear the action of setting the boundary. Most of the time we fear the outcome that comes as a result of setting the boundary. All right, and then you said I feel guilty, like I'm abandoning them. How do I hold my ground without feeling like a bad mom? So number 3 is that we've gotten really into feelings. Here's the thing about feelings. Just because you feel that it's true, it doesn't mean that it is true. Let me explain. Have you ever been to the movies and watched a movie and then all of a sudden you get emotional, like Rudy, you're with him, he's winning, you're in it? Or have you ever watched a movie and you feel like you want to cry in Titanic when Leonardo DiCaprio and the main actors are not going to be together anymore? We feel these emotions. We feel like they're true. Our emotions, our body, it can't tell the difference between real danger and fake danger because our emotions can take us out of control. Here's what happens when your emotions take over your brain. Your ability to make logical decisions go down. So I say it like this: when emotions go high, then logic goes down. So you may feel like a bad mom, but that doesn't mean that you are a bad mom. Usually when women feel like this, they feel like they're a bad mom, they haven't actually defined what being a good mom at this period of their life is. And I've dealt with this with my adult kids, just all the feels, all the guilt, but then you have to make a decision. Oh, there goes my camera. You have to make a decision about, hey, wait a minute. What's a good mom supposed to do in this situation? Are you really a bad mom because you don't come in and rescue them every time they call you? That's ridiculous. So here are 3 things about boundaries that are going to help you. Number 1, I want you to change your perspective on boundaries. Boundaries are not so much about you trying to keep your child out. Okay? Boundaries are about you keeping their chaos out. This is their behavior, their thoughts, their emotions, their issues. So you setting the boundary, all you're doing is you're keeping and holding your peace, but you are not called to manage their peace. That's impossible. And we dive more into that in my power community, which is my community where women come in and they engage in activities to help them to stop people pleasing and start setting boundaries. And women that know their purpose in life, they tend to have the ability to use the muscles to set better boundaries. So very first thing, remember what I said, boundaries are not about you keeping them out. It's about you keeping your peace in. Number 2, here's what a lot of women think about boundaries. Boundaries, they feel, are a way to control other people, a way to manipulate people, a way to punish people. That's not what a boundary is for. I want you to think about it. Boundaries are like, in life, we have boundaries everywhere. So if this video never ended, that would not be good. That would be an example of very poor boundaries. So I have a boundary with this video. There's a beginning of the video and an ending of the video. That's the boundary. So you know where it begins and you know where it ends. That's the same with you. Boundaries don't keep people out. Boundaries simply define you. Your boundaries define what you're supposed to do, the emotions you're supposed to have, the responsibilities that you have. And a lot of women, they are enmeshed with their adult kids and it causes multiple issues. But we deal with this in the power community to help women to break free so they don't now hold space for their kids' decisions because their kids' decisions are their own. And then here's what I really want to tell you is that usually when it comes to boundaries, when we keep trying to hold our ground, we keep trying to say no, we keep on saying we're not going to give them money and then we do, we keep on saying we're not going to pick up the phone and then we do, is usually there is a inability to define the boundary. That's the last part. Usually there's been an inability to define the boundary. You haven't made it clear, so your child is probably confused. So what you've got to do is you've got to begin to make boundaries pretty clear. And my first advice is hey, make a boundary, set a boundary, make it clear, but let it be something that you're going to actually do. What is it that you're willing to do? What is it that you're not willing to do? Make some decisions around that. And I would also encourage you to join the power community, which is my community where women discover their purpose. They begin to discover toxic relational patterns just like this. You know, some of us think that these patterns that are familiar to us are good, but just because it's familiar to you, it doesn't mean it's good for you. It just means it's familiar. And then women begin to build the muscles to stop people pleasing, to start setting boundaries, to start holding their ground. Again, I really hope that this helps you out, just understanding some key issues when it comes to boundaries. Define your boundaries. Don't see it as a punishment. Don't see it as a way to control people or manipulate people. Just see it as a way of defining where you end and where they begin. That's simply it. Listen, I love you. I believe in you. I want you to click down below. Join the Power Community. It's a brand new community of women where we really engage and go deeper into the discussion of women setting better boundaries. I know that you will enjoy it, that you will find yourself taking action. And I always say, nothing happens until you happen. Join the community, start setting boundaries, understand your purpose. But remember, you've got to take action. Lights, camera, action. Make sure you like and subscribe this channel so you can get notifications, and I'll see you in the community. I'll see you soon.